Hi guys, good morning. Good evening. I'm just trying to paste the link. 1 second. Hi guys, good morning. I'm just trying to paste the link. 1 second. All right, I'm good. I'm set then. I'll just refresh and see. Can you type in chat? I don't see the chat. Let me just check the chat. Hi Samrit. Hi Vikas. Can you all hear me? Uh, just give me a confirmation so I can get started. Separate podcast. Can you all hear me? Just give me. Alrighty, then I'll continue. Okay, guys, it's been a long, long time. I have not done this thing. So I'll start saying hi and thank you for everyone who is joining. Hi, Samrit, hi, Vikas, hi, Sujit, hi, Ranjan, David, Ronak, Kishore. Good evening, guys. Uh, all right. So let me just go into the logical ES, which is our S&P futures. Before I went into vacation, I was telling that yes, we could actually 665.50, almost almost there. But one thing which I am realizing now is, and again, you can also look into this. This red line has been a source of resistance in the past. The moment we went below this, we cracked down. Now we are coming into this sense of resistance. It tried breaking out, failed, tried breaking out, failed. We are right there at this stage. Now, one more important thing which you need to focus on is look at this. This was a really beautiful, positive buying area, which happened when the Trump administration took back the tariffs for 90 days, and then we saw the massive moves higher. Now, we are testing the 34 EMA multiple times during this phase. Now, in case if we start to lose this, this could actually be very, very critical because we have seen a tremendous rally from 48.55 all the way to 6,500. This hardly like less than 2% or 3% pullback, which is remarkable. So as of now, I think if you are in long positions, make sure you trail your longs. And second, if you want to hedge, make sure you have some hedges going into October, maybe November. So as of today, I would say I'll just clear this, uh, mm, and I'll focus on few things there. You can see there's red dots coming in. It doesn't mean that we have to go short at this point, but sometimes like you need to unwind your longs. Like if you're in the long position, make sure you do not lose profit on your longs. So better. Like for me, if we start to lose 64.75, that's it. That's the end of the longs. I would not short there, but I would not like to have any long carried below 64.75. So 64.75 is my stop loss for long. Maximum I can see right now is 65.60 at this point. We have two numbers coming, CPI and PPI. Now, you need to be very careful that whenever there were rate cuts previously, the market takes them initially as positive, but in the next few days, it starts to give up because whenever there are rate cuts, it means that there is something wrong in the economy. Something is slowing up, economic slowdown, job weaknesses, or the GDP is not going away. So should not consider rate cuts as a good picture of economy. Rate cuts always happen in a bad economy, and rate hikes have always happened in a good economy. So whenever there were rate hikes, market went up. Now there are rate cuts, we have stretched. So there may be a possibility of some pullback, at least test this dark dotted line. So I'm going to be little cognizant and just try to keep my long stop loss at 65, 64.75. If you are an aggressive short person or aggressive person who wants to sell, this will be your trigger for selling. 64.75, and you can see 64.15, which is the 34 EMA. And I would actually go short below this. But if you're an aggressive trader and who wants to just short, you should short right here at 64.75. Keep a very small stop loss of 64.90, 64.95, 20 points you have to give. And then just hold, maybe in a pan of days and maybe in weeks, you will see. Now, in this week, we have, as I said, two events, CPI and PPI. Now, if CPI starts to point a little higher, start to show the impact of tariffs, then it is going to be very, very difficult for FOMC to actually do a cut. So it will be a catch-22 situation for Fed. If they do not cut, the economic growth and the GDP will still go down and struggle to find its feet. And if they cut, it is going to add the inflation and may not have that kind of positive impact into the GDP, because the people will feel the impact of inflation. They are already cut down on their spending, and with higher inflation, they will further cut it down. It may have some positive impact into housing, but as of today, the sellers are beating the buyers like anything. So just be careful. It's time when like we need to be wait and watch. Let's see if 64.75 holds or not. At this point of time, I would not try to encourage you to go long into new positions. If you are long into the previous position, better to book them or hedge them or make some kind of like strategy just to make sure you do not lose your profit. All right. Now, in case we start to lose 64.15, then I think this 6,300 area, 6,250, around 6,100, you will find some fees. So, and this will happen quick. Okay. It may not take too much of time, but it will happen quick. Maybe a week should be fine for us to backtest this. And why I'm saying that? Because look at this chart. Since we broke out in May, or I would say right here, in last week of April or first week of May, we just had a positive divergence of 12 EMA and 34 EMA. Since then, we are holding the 12 EMA like a charm. Every time 12 EMA comes in, we are going long, and every time it's there, you held on to long until it comes back. But this time, this is kind of creating an ascending wedge. If we, and as I said, the TTM squeeze is also showing me red dots, meaning that yes, something is weakening. Uh, Plus the volume is like, if you see in entirety, the big stocks are moving the market higher, and that is happening one by one. Something we are seeing like Monday, Amazon is running and Apple is running, and then the next day Google is running, then the next day Netflix or Meta is running, or one day Microsoft is running. So all these big companies which have good component size in the index, they are kind of running the market. Small caps is still struggling. I'll go into IWM right now, but I think it's better to hold your longs or close your longs and kind of do a long unwinding and wait for next week, because CPI and PPI will give you the direction. And I do not expect a bigger move uh, before then. It may be some consolidation, maybe chop going into tomorrow. Maybe in the afternoon of Tuesday, you will start to see some movement happening into the market. Otherwise, it will only be stock specific moves, like one of the stocks, Robinhood or Tesla or Palantir, they'll move. But as an index perspective, it will be actually very light. Okay. So just be careful. 64.75 is your stop loss for long. If you want to buy near that. Keep 64.75 as your stop loss and then aim for 65.60. On the downside, like 64.75 is your threshold. The moment you lose it, do not long anything. Okay. Then wait for 64.14 or 63.50, 63.40 is a powerful support area, which we have seen in the last few days. Like right here, this is the purple line which held, then held. So it may come into the picture one more time. So just be careful on that side. Do not rush into longs at this time. Be stock specific. Index moves are going to be hard at this time. NASDAQ. NASDAQ, you can see it's already showing sense of weakness. It's was making a W right here before breaking out. When W went up, now it's almost like the 12 and 34 EMAs are almost coming. It's making dodgies, and then right now, I do not have that kind of confidence. Maybe it can attempt one more time, going higher, but unless we break this 23,200, which is about 500 points away from this, I think NASDAQ is fine as compared to ES. So NASDAQ futures, if you want to try long, make sure you only, what's the value? This is 23591, which is 23,600. Like if you try to go long, try long near 23,600, not here. Because if it is higher, there's no point trading in NQ. But if it's close to 23,600, you might take an attempt. Or if you are very, very shrewd-minded, you do not want to do anything, wait for 23,400. Unless 23,400 is there, do not attempt a new long position on Triple Q or on NASDAQ. It's better to wait and watch. I will not encourage shorts here because the big amount of components in the NASDAQ are big weightage companies from IT, and they are kind of riding this momentum. So I will not short NASDAQ until and unless we lose 23,200. Until then, buy and wait and watch. IWM. IWM was supposed to break out, but like last week, it has a dodgy. I have some long positions in IWM, but it doesn't look nice at this point of time. Like I was anticipating it could actually do a inverted head and shoulders breakout, but let's see. So this was one inverted head shoulders. It is supposed to break out to hit this 244. So I'm anticipating if it could do that or not. Because in IWM, like if the big stocks are going to hold up, IWM may come and show some strength. At this point of time, IWM weakness is low. It is green as compared to NASDAQ and ES both, where we have red. The green line, which is the TDM, which is the DMI, is showing positive momentum. 12 EMA and 34 EMA are still positive. And this is like bullish white soldiers, which is a continuation of the bullish pattern. So all in all, I'm not worried about this dodgy at this time because it's happening after a long time. But again, if it starts to lose 237, it's better to get out. No point hanging on to IWM. So 237 is your main number, or 237, 50, 55 should be like, if you want to make a round number, 237. Otherwise, 237.50 is your number. If it goes and holds below this, it's better to get out. Simrit is saying IWM is rising wedge. It is not a rising wedge as of now. Like if you're considering this goes right here. And if you're trying to make the top, it's right there. So it's not a wedge as such. It is more of a channel. Wedge usually is like this, which is showing up in ES and NQ, not in IWM. So I am going to say, uh, do not short IWM as of now. Wait for 234. If it loses 234, yes, you can attempt a short, because then it will confirm evening star. And for evening star also, the 234, 233.50 needs to be taken down. So just be careful on IWM. Okay, then let's pick up some of the big stocks. Apple, I think is moving a lot. They have the event today, this week, not today, this week. And Apple has a gap. I think this gap will be filled. So at this point of time, I am like, again, we are far from the 12 EMA and we are making a dodgy. So unless we clear, Friday's top was 241, unless we clear 241 or we open above 241, let's look out for a failed breakout and let's see if it can come down and test the 12 EMA and fill the gap. At this point of time, I am not going to encourage longs on Apple. Wait for 241.32 to break and hold. If it starts to lose, it will be a failed breakout and then it can go down. AMD. AMD has broken down and it's almost at the convergence level. Now, usually what I see is whenever we have this green line covering the red candles, it means it's bottom. But right now, there is no sense of that. There is more potential for it to go down, maybe towards the gap, which is 147. If it loses at 147, it will come down to 140. Okay, so just be careful with ALT. Instead, if you want to trade on chip stocks, better is ASML or NER. Amazon. Amazon is a roughly inside day, not a clear inside day, roughly an inside day. Again, it will depend on the market's momentum. Amazon just rallied up onto the news that they are going to have a 5 billion increase in the revenue. It went up and went up with massive volume. And on the next day, everything was sold into Amazon. So this gives me an inside day. Now, if we are around 229, or if let's say, if we start to break below 231, I'll go short. High, I will not attempt at this time. Sujit has a question. Will rate cut bring down SPY? That is what I'm expecting. So it may do that attempt because there's huge amount of money invested into the big stocks. Now that money needs to rotate into IWM for it to move higher. That may happen this week, next week, but it is going to happen. And again, in the long uh, cycle of the market, IWM is the last one to run. So right now, NASDAQ has made a new 24,000. ES has also made 6,500. But And IWM has not done anything. So IWM will do its last cycle before it dumps. China is really strong. Uh, right now, China is trying an attempt. If again, 140 is something which can be a really good resistance into BABA. It closed at 135 right now, it's trading at 140 in the Chinese market. So, and it's a hammer, bullish hammer at the end of the Friday. So any attempt to clear 140 will be really good. On the day of earning, it went to all the way to 139. So 139 will be your stop loss. So if you are attempting a long position in BABA, make sure 139 is held. If it starts to lose, just get away because overnight gaps are usually filled in Chinese things. Okay, so just be careful. If it holds 140 and above, it is going to open up a big move. Similar to like IWM, Chinese companies are like really less invested at this time. So they will have serious momentum going into them. And you can see that this is a consolidation of over 8 to 6 months. So if it breaks out, it will have massive momentum. And also, if you look at the longer term chart, right, this is kind of making a bull flag. I've not added the regression channel, but let's do that. Let's add the regression channel from 80s. And I'll do an extension. The 140 is a tough area. You can see the purple line is also coming. The 61.8 Fibonacci is also coming. So all these things are going to make a little tough. But if it crosses 140.5, I think Baba will have much more left into it. BA. BA is like practically it's done for this move. Right now, this is called an ascending wedge. Why? Because the top is kind of controlled and the bottom is going up. So if, and we are at the bottom of this. So if we start to break down, 224, 225 is our last support. So I am not inclined to go long in Boeing as of now. It's better to short this. 225, if it loses, it will come down to 196. One trade which I'm interested in is CRM. CRM after the earnings went down, but it's kind of reclaiming that 34 EMA. Now, CRM will play an important role with Adobe has earnings, and you can see uh, one thing very important. When it tried to move up, there was a reasonably good amount of volume for buy-in, and even on Friday. So there was a good amount of buying which happened into CRM. Now, the moment it clears 250, 150, 252, you will have much more strength going into CRM. And this is one of the good tickers I'm interested in. Again, I wanted to clear 251, 252 before I jump into this. If it doesn't, then I have no trade because the good buying has already happened from 223 to 24. Uh, it could actually better if we can clear 258 and fill the gap, and then we can go higher. And again, this will happen with one more company, MU. Like I'll just have two charts right back to back. MU. So MU also had earnings. MU after the earnings went down. Where was the earnings? From 131 all the way to 103. And then the buying happened. Like it's better that I show it in money. See, it went to 103, held, and then the buying starts to happen. This is the day where buying starts to happen. The green, green, green is there. So when you have green and the momentum is picking up, this is getting better. If we clear 132, which is showing right now, I think it will have legs for 166 will be too far, but let me increase for 5 years. No, 5 years. You see, it's kind of struggling at 132. The moment it clears 132, I think it's a massive breakout in MU. And imagine AMD ran like this. So it will also, and you can clearly see it's making a W right here. So 132 is your stop loss. If it breaks out and holds, this could be a big multiplier for you, and you keep an eye on this. Simrit, I can do regression channels a little later because I do not have too much time today. But I have explained this in one of the videos. If you want to have to check, you can go and check that. Then I would like to do crowd. CoreWeave, I do not trade or like recommend anybody to trade. But crowd has found a support, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the 4 days it's kind of had a buy. So negative momentum is kind of killing or done. I think if it clears 420, you can trade crowd for 435. Crowd can be a bounce here. From 517, it can be a bounce. Then I think I have Meta. Meta is making dodges and dodges. A little uncertainty is happening in Meta. So I would say avoid Meta and Google for now. They're going to be a little tough to trade. Let's avoid Google. And I'm not going to cover Google, but Google is like really, really stretched at this time. It's better not to trade Google or Meta. Just watch. Better pick up, like MU is a better stock. Adobe could be better. CRM could be better. Um, Microsoft broke down the 500 and it is not looking good. It broke down the 500. It may come to 485. So better sell on rise. If it goes to 502, 503, better sell it. Buy puts. Because again, you may like it or not like it, but if these companies which are talking about AI, at end of the day, they have to find use cases. Right now, I am struggling to find use cases for the AI to help me in my own organization. The best I can do is a chatbot, which can help me provide the statuses for some applications if I've applied as a client. Uh, Otherwise, it's more of an automation, more of process cleanup than actually AI helping me. So I'm a little careful here with AI. AI can be a big thing, but we need to find the actual use cases where AI could help. And Microsoft was the biggest beneficiary of this AI momentum from 200 to 550, almost $2 trillion money, has massive, massive gaps to fill. They'll be filled for sure. So I'm not inclined on Microsoft long. Better to sell this. 507 is your stop loss. Just buy puts around 500, 502. NVIDIA is exactly in the similar plate. Uh, it may go for 156. The momentum is kind of increasing on the negative side, uh, but any attempt to clear 169 can be your stop loss for shorts. But if it comes to 168, 169, short it for 156. I'm not going to long Nvidia. Same thing goes for AVGO. AVGO had a massive candle and they have a mystery client who's going to give them $10 billion. Look at the selling which happened. The amount of buying versus selling is huge. So I think it will fill the gap. It may not be able to sustain it. So if it goes higher to 238, 239, like if it break it down 30 minutes, like if you see 230, 332 going down, buy puts. This is going to be tough for AVGO to hold. Tesla. Tesla, I think, will have some momentum. Tesla was able to cross like 350.85. It is able to close around this. This is making a W. And this is like a good close. There was one close in May. After that, every time it goes higher, there was a red close. So this is the only green close after May above this. Look for 375. If it clears 375, I think 441. And this is like happening in the channel. So it comes down, goes here, comes down, goes here, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. So if it is breaking out this time, it will hit 375. Okay. Palantir. Palantir is going to get some trouble. It has attempted to hold 150 almost like 10, 12 times. The loss of 150 will be really, really bad for Palantir. So it has already lost 20% from 190 to 153. That's about $38. So it's lost that number and it's actually turning into the bear market. The momentum has shifted. Any attempt for it to go higher, you can do a short on Palantir. All right, let me see any other ticker which I want to cover. Let me do a scan. Just see if 12 crossing 34 on S&P. So Walmart, let's look at Walmart. So Walmart, the 12 EMA is crossing over 34 EMA, but that's a dark cloud cover, which is a bearish pattern. Let's see if it holds 98. I'll be a buyer at 98, 99, sorry. I'll be a buyer at 99. I'll not be in rush, but I'll be buyer at 99. TXN, Texas Instruments. This has turned bearish. Uh, I think 191 should be a stop loss and go short. The semis, most likely, it's more of a short outside of MU and ASML. Gary, I do not trade these companies, Open Oscar or this thing. I only trade big companies. These companies are hard to trade. So, Robinhood, I mentioned on Thursday, we are long in 110 because I think it will have some momentum to clear 110, 111. I think it will struggle at 111. If it does not clear 111, better to book your positions. So be careful with Robinhood at 111. Because there was multiple attempts in the past few quarters where it was thought to be added into S&P, but it did not. So it's like the story has been looked after multiple times that yes, it will be added, and it not. Finally, it got added. But you see, D-Dog was added, it was 20% move up. It's not even able to hold 108, 109. So 111, if it clears, I'll keep that as a stop loss and exit. So 111 is your stop loss. Lily, 730 is your stop loss if you are trying for a short position. Long position, I think we need to clear this area of 745. 745 has been a pain point. It's struggling around this area. So if you want to go long, 745 needs to clear up or let it come to 710. UNH is something I'm interested in. It's breaking out, and I think it is going to clear 333 and go up very quickly. So like 248 was a good area where like it kind of found the support at 234, 248. And now I think it's ready for a big move. 333 will come into the picture pretty soon. Uh, right. Yeah, 333 will be my target for UNH. I can check if we have any flow for UNH for this week. Let me just open up. These are 325 calls are there. September 5. The dark pools, dark pool. So we have significant dark pools on Friday for UNH around 315.39, which is the close price. So if we are able to hold above this price or means remain positive, I think it will have momentum. It will have momentum and it can go higher to 333. Adobe, earning wise, they're making like, if you see clearly, this is inverted head and shoulders. Just needs to break this. The moment it breaks it, it will go higher. And if we see over a period of time, like quarter by quarter, I'll go to 5 years. See, the earnings have been consistent. $3.90 against 3.9. Earnings at 3 actual 391. 3.16, 4.09. 3.32 estimations, 4.27. So this time the estimations are not there. But every time it has beaten the estimation, but it is not going up on the guidance somehow. I think it is going to move higher this time because it is once you call wedge, which is going down, down, down. Now, like this is usually a bear flag, but it has bounced from that bear flag and is going higher, 348. If it was around 332, then it could have gone down. But let's see, we have still few days and we can decide where it is moving. If it is going below 332, it is going to be tough for Adobe to hold. Let me see if it has any flows, but these flows change pretty quickly. Mhm. The 380 put is, this is the trade. 380 put is sold, 400 call is bought, which is a positive sign. But I need to see more of it. 275, 280 puts are sold. But this is the trade I'm interested in. This is a good size trade, 200 lots each in the money and fair time. Oracle, last time Oracle was like parabolic in the move. The CEO said that yes, they have really, really good future. And since then, the stock went up. Bazooka. Now, it needs to showcase that whatever was mentioned by CEO is up to the mark. Otherwise, it is going to come down drastically. The channel from 192 to 60 can come back to 190. So if you have to take a trade, take like long, like strangle into this both calls and puts and see what happens onto the oracle. Let me see if I can see any flow. The 220 calls are there. This is 220, 25. This is more of a butterfly trade. You can clearly see 230 has 200 lots, 220 has 200 lots, 225. So somebody is expecting it to remain within this range, 220 to 230. So it is going to be really tough uh, for somebody to manage this. Again, there are spreads 220, 260, 220, 260. Not much as such, but I'll keep an eye on this for Oracle. PDD is China, and China, I think this is making a good, like, good bottoming pattern. But it needs to clear 130. If it clears 130, you will see 155. All right, guys. So this is what I wanted to share for tonight. Hopefully it was useful to you. Thank you for watching, and hopefully if I can speak after my surgery, I'll be able to address. Oh, I missed gold. Gold, I think it's time for gold to 3800 was my goal target when I mentioned this previously. Now, unless we clear the previous high, I think it's short on rise. Short it until it comes to 3140, 36. Like if you take my opinion, keep 3640 as a stop loss and short the gold. Gold will come down and hit 36.4 and 35 and 35.40. So gold is for now, very short term is short. Unless it clears 36.40, which is like $6 stop loss, worth taking a risk. All right, guys.